kids are heading back to school, and that means parents will be whipping out their smartphones to capture those moments.
Here were some ideas on how to take those pictures from nice to frameable for the wall. We welcome back TCL executive producer and professional photographer Christian Unser is with us.
I
really like to get that in there.
Yeah, that's
he
really
wrote
impressive.
his own intro.
There
and
we
read
go.
it.
All right, let's throw it back to your high school pictures.
Sure.
I was looking at a lot of
These
high
are
school
gems.
pictures over the weekend.
Yep. So my dad took me out with my '66 Mustang
Yeah.
and said, "Why don't you just put your foot up on it and I'll take a picture." And it's an awkwardly high bumper, but
Yeah,
here we
it
are.
is. Man,
I
It
thought
is,
it was
but
a good
that's a
idea.
pretty cool picture there.
Yeah,
Christian.
and then
wow.
The hair, which that's 1993 hair, and I feel like it's maybe time to come back. I don't know. It's all cyclical, right?
Okay, those
So,
are
yeah, I was
certainly
crushing it there.
memorable.
Yeah.
And a lot of us take some that, we'll post on social media, but
Right.
I would never think like, oh, we're going to frame that on the wall because it's kind of haphazard as the day goes on.
Yeah, so anything that I say here, by the way, if you take a picture and you do some of the things that I'm talking about here, that's great. And if you don't follow my advice, that's fine too. The pictures are great. It's all about having the memories.
Right.
These are just some suggestions on how you might be able to kick them up a couple notches.
So you think we should get away from the garage
Yeah,
door?
so you see all these kids lined up in front of a white garage door, and you're going to see pictures of my kids throughout the years, so I finally decided getting them away from that. And so I take them out into the street or onto the sidewalk with the street in the background, and you get that nice blurry background. Even if you don't have the fanciest camera, that'll still happen. And it just makes it's more about them and less about the sort of lineup.
It's almost like a police lineup.
In front of a white
Let's see your
background.
third grade mugshot.
Right, exactly.
And we'll see if we can still identify you next year.
That's right. So that is kind of an easy one. And we're gonna jump through time with my kids here because these are from.
We'll go on
all
the
over.
journey with
Right.
you. Another thing you say, it's important to get to their level.
Yeah, so this experience is about their experience. So rather than everything being like from the parents' level looking down, get down to their level.
Oh my gosh.
And shoot kind of straight on with them or even up at them a little bit, make them look a little bit bigger than they normally are. And these are obviously when my kids were in elementary school, they're 13 and 15. Now they're going to love that these are on TV.
Shout out to Shannon Park.
That's right. But and that's another thing that ties into my next one. So going to a separate location. So rather than getting some elaborate props or buying an old desk and taking it out into the middle of a cornfield, we just went to the school.
Yeah,
And
But you've talked about this before, Christian, the importance of maybe trying to do this a couple days ahead of time.
yeah, even the weekend before. if
Yeah,
school's
instead
starting,
of doing it right on that first
Great
day of
idea.
school day where things are mayhem, you're getting everybody
Right.
out the door, there might be a little
Someone's
bit of
crying.
nerves.
Right.
Yeah, if you get them out a couple days ahead of time, you get, what's the difference?
Right, it doesn't matter. And then they even maybe even will feel more comfortable on the big day about school in general if you've already been over there.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
much of this stuff, especially on the first day, is posed. But
Yes.
you say try to capture the moments. How do we actually do that?
So I think it's just sort of following them around if you can. When they're young, a lot of times they'll let you go into the classroom with them so you can get kind of those classroom photos, which is really nice. But if you have photos where they're walking into school or playing on the playground after school,
Yeah.
those are the ones. This is the best picture I think I've ever taken of my children.
That's
and
awesome.
they were just walking up the hill to the school and somebody reached out and grabbed somebody's hand. We
Oh, I
didn't
could
even
just
tell them to do
cry.
that. And that was them walking up the hill to their
How many years
elementary
ago was
school.
that?
I mean, that was back in, 7 years ago, I think.
Okay, all right.
And then this is Hannah, like in her kindergarten classroom, didn't even know I took the picture. And then this is my son Gabe going into kindergarten for his first day.
geez.
Again, get the school in the background. It's not like the most well-framed thing I've ever taken before, but it's definitely
It's
a
the moment.
memory.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's much more important to me than some very posed
photo.
thing in front of the house.
Well, speaking of poses, if you're going to do some posed ones, using similar poses year
Yeah.
to year, I love this idea because it helps offer you perspective on the way that they've grown.
Right, so you can kind of see what we've done here. So I continually put them together like this. So this was elementary school, Hannah's first time in elementary school, and Gabe had been in it for a few years. And then, jump ahead to a few years later.
Watch Gabe's height, everybody.
watch the
I
height
know,
change
Gabe's
on
just gonna
Gabe.
just shoot.
But a similar pose, and then this was last year when
to
Gabe was
lean
starting high
down to
school.
get in the frame.
Right, and Hannah's hands are in her pockets now, not wrapped around her brother, because things are a little different.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's fun to you really see the differences between them when they're kind of put into those situations, and it's fun to look back.
Is there any little camera tricks though? Do you think you need to invest in the big digital SLR, those big cameras?
So most of the new phones actually do have that portrait mode or some kind of equivalent that can make them look really nice. Honestly, if you just get close to them, it'll focus on them and blur out that background, and that's
Sure.
what gives you that picture that people look at and they go, oh, that looks like a nice picture or a fancy picture.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
usually all that's happening, and even the most basic phone will probably do that.
Thank you, professional photographer Christian.
Thank
And
you. Glad to
executive
help.
producer of
Yes.
this very broadcast.
How many titles can I have?
Wasn't it the tech something?
Tech
Oh,
producer.
yeah, I forgot
the
that. We'll do
Techspert.
Techspert. We'll do
Techspert.
that
If you would
next
like a
We're small
list
staff.
of these ideas and to learn more about Christian's photography business, it's called Unser Imagery. You can go to twincitieslive.com and click on Fun.
All right, it's